Hello everyone, welcome to the final episode of our 24-part series, The Existence of God. If you've been with me from episode 1 until now, thank you so much. This hasn't just been a series of videos. It's been a journey through philosophy, science, morality, history, theology, and the deepest questions of the human heart. Today we bring it all together. In episode 1, we asked a simple but powerful question. Is God's existence even possible? Before arguing for God, we cleared away the assumption that belief is irrational. We saw that both belief and unbelief require philosophical commitments. Neutrality is not as neutral as it seems. In episodes 2 and 3, we examined the origin and fine-tuning of the universe. Philosophy and science tell us the universe had a beginning. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore it has a cause beyond space, time, and matter. Then we explored fine-tuning, the razor-thin balance of physical constants that make life possible. Chance struggles to explain it. Necessity doesn't account for it. Design, on the other hand, offers a compelling explanation. In episode 4, we turn to morality. We all know some things are truly wrong, evil, not just inconvenient. But objective moral values require a foundation beyond human opinion. If morality is real, something or someone grounds it. In episode 5, we looked at mathematics. Mathematical truths are timeless, abstract, and universal. They are not physical, yet they describe the physical universe with astonishing precision. Why does a mathematically structured universe exist at all? In episode 6, we discussed contingency. Everything we see depends on something else. But an infinite chain of dependent things cannot explain why anything exists. There must be a necessary self-existent foundation. And in episode 7, we answered the classic question: if God created the universe, who created God? By definition, God is not a contingent being. He is the necessary reality, the uncaused cause. Episodes 8, 9, and 10 explored ultimate meaning, value, and purpose. If the universe is the product of blind forces, meaning becomes subjective, value becomes preference, purpose becomes personal invention. But if God exists, meaning is discovered, not created. Value is objective. Purpose is real. One important thing to notice at this particular point is that we didn't avoid hard questions. In episodes 11 and 12, we asked whether atheism requires evidence and whether lack of evidence equals evidence of absence. Skepticism also carries intellectual responsibility, brothers and sisters. In episode 13, we wrestled with divine hiddenness. If God exists, why isn't his existence obvious? Perhaps because forced belief is not the same as freely chosen trust. Episode 14 confronted suffering, the most emotional challenge. The problem of evil is serious, but the very recognition of evil assumes objective moral standards. In episode 15, we considered claims of inefficient design. Limited human perspective does not automatically invalidate broader design. Episode 16 reminded us if God exists, miracles are possible. They're not violations of science, but acts of the one who established natural laws. Episode 17 clarified that science studies repeatable natural processes. God, if he exists, is not a part of nature. He is its very cause. Episodes 18, 19, and 20 addressed the supposed conflict between Christianity and science. We revisited the real story of Galileo and saw that the narrative is far more complex than science versus religion. We asked whether belief in God is a science stopper and found that historically, many scientific pioneers saw their work as uncovering the rational order of a universe that is created by a rational mind. In episodes 21 and 22, we addressed whether God is just a projection of our imagination or comparable to Santa Claus, explaining why someone believes something does not determine whether it is true. Episode 23 examined cultural conditioning. Yes, culture influences belief, but it influences disbelief as well. The real question is not where a belief came from. The real question is it true? In episode 24, we established that the question, does God exist, is the most important question because it shapes how you see reality, how you understand meaning, how you ground morality, how you process suffering, and ultimately, how you face death. So over 24 episodes, we did not claim to offer a laboratory proof of God. Instead, we built a cumulative case: the origin of the universe, the fine-tuning of physical laws, the existence of moral truths, the reality of mathematics, the necessity of a foundational being, the hunger for meaning and purpose, the intelligibility of science itself. So each strand alone may not necessarily compel belief, although it certainly does, at least from my perspective, but together they form a powerful explanatory framework. So theism offers a coherent answer to why there is something rather than nothing, why the universe is rational, why morality binds us, why we long for purpose, why love feels ultimate. So, what now? After all these episodes, the question is no longer just intellectual, it is personal. If God exists, you're not an accident. Your life has meaning. Your choices matter. Your longing for purpose is not an illusion. If God exists, this is not just a conclusion to debate. It's reality to respond to. Brothers and sisters, let me say this with all sincerity. This series was never about winning arguments. It was about honest inquiry, about thinking clearly and deeply, about asking hard questions without fear. If you're skeptical, keep searching. Follow the evidence wherever it leads. If you're a believer, be confident, but also humble and compassionate in conversation. If you're undecided, don't stop halfway. Keep asking, keep exploring, because the question of God is not a side issue. It is the question behind every other question. Well, once again, thank you so much for watching this video series. If it's helped you, challenged you, or sparked new thoughts, share it. Leave your questions in the comments. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to this channel. Let's continue the conversation. Why? Because truth matters. And if God exists, nothing matters more.